Done. Start. Now we will begin with the second session. A very good afternoon to one and all. I, Ms. Supriya Bhamre, working as an assistant professor at Sir Dr. M.S. Gosavi College of Pharmaceutical Education and Research, Nashik. I am heartily thankful to the organizers of webinar for giving me this opportunity to introduce our speaker, Ms. Kanchan Matale. Ma'am is working with the Teva Pharmaceuticals as a senior pharmacovigilance professional at Bangalore. She has 6 years of expertise in the pharmacovigilance. Ma'am has done M.Pharmacy from the Pune College of Pharmacy, Pune in January 2018 and B Pharmacy from MSG Copper Nashik in 2016. Ma'am has qualified GPAT with the good rank of 806. She is currently working as a subject matter expert for topic literature at Teva Pharmaceuticals. She keeps the tracks of medical information around the world, ensuring the product safety, leads project involving different teams both inside and outside the company. She is a part of many audits and inspection, ensuring compliance with the industry regulation. Skilled in stakeholder management, audit and inspection, automation, SOP simplification, pharmacovigilance agreement negotiation, deviation handling, as well as corrective and preventive actions. She oversees the worldwide medical literature monitoring for the individual case reports. Ma'am has Ma'am has developed matrix driven key performance indicators for vendor evaluation. She also participated in multiple partner audits and regulatory inspection. She contributed to the global SOP simplification projects during the launch of VSAFE database, mentored new associate, tracked progress, and provided constructive feedback. She also acted as case processor in literature reports, partner reports, health authority reports, etc. She distributed serious and non-serious cases to respective health authorities based on the regulatory requirements. From June 2020 to September 2021, Ma'am has worked with the Bioclinica as Drug Safety Associate at Mysore, where she performed signal detection for individual case safety reports and aggregate data for company products in accordance with the SOP and conducted quality control checks on entered data to ensure completeness, legibility, and the validity. Ma'am has started her career in August 2028 to, in August 2028 with the stringent nature, technology, and publishing solution at Junior Scientific and Medical Writer Pune, where she worked on problem-solving skills through the successful contributions to the various projects. Ma'am has recognized multiple times with the company stars for outstanding performance and contributed to team success. Today, ma'am is going to highlight on the topic pharmacovigilance more than just data entry. With this brief introduction, I welcome you, ma'am, and request to begin the session. Please, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for your kind introduction. I would also like to thank Amrutkar sir, Shelke ma'am, for having me today and giving me this opportunity to give back to the community from where I have learned. Uh, so moving on, today I will give you the presentation on topic pharmacovigilance more than just data entry. So let's get started. Please confirm whether can you see my screen.
Yes, it is visible, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the agenda of today's webinar. So introduction to the pharmacovigilance. Like as most of you are final year students, so you might have heard about this term and you might have covered this in your curriculum uh, regarding the pharmacovigilance. So pharmacovigilance mostly deals with the monitoring, safety monitoring of the products. So through this process, we can identify the adverse drug reactions, side effects of the drug throughout the life cycle of the product. So PV team collect this data, analyze this data, and evaluate this data, and and all based on the results, based on the outcome, they will take action, whether to withdraw the product from the market, or make the changes in the labeling. So basically pharmacovigilance ensures the safety, patient safety. Then historical background. So again, you might have heard of this thalidomide tragedy. So thalidomide was introduced in 1957 as a sedative, and it also has antiemetic properties, so it was used for morning sickness in pregnant women. However, after lately it was discovered that worldwide thousands of children were born with congenital anomalies called as phacomelia. So, because of this tragedy, regulatory requirement become more stringent, and especially for drug safety and approval of the drug. then um, then overview of the PV process. So basically PV process is mandatory for both the products which are in clinical development and also the after post marketing. So why, like in clinical development phase, as you know that like limited number of patients will be exposed to the drug, so there are chances that receiving limited number of data on adverse drug reactions. However, after post marketing, once the drug is marketed, it is available in the market, so drug will be exposed to the larger population. For example, geriatric patient, pediatric patient, pregnant patient. So there is chances, like here we will get more data, variant data. So this will help a PV team again to take the appropriate action accordingly, regards to the safety data. Next is the regulatory framework. So in different region of the world, there are different regulatory bodies. For example, in US we have FDA, in UK we have MHRA, in Europe we have EMA, in Japan we have PMDA, in Australia we have TGA. So all of these regulatory bodies, they have different regulatory requirements, and the the aim of this regulatory body is to oversee the safety and efficacy of the medicinal product, and they will make sure that pharmaceutical companies are compliant with the regulatory requirement related to the pharmacovigilance or not. Then pharmacovigilance system. So in the pharmacovigilance system, there are different components. For example, like global safety reporting, safety writing, aggregate reporting, signal and risk management, quality and compliance, and QPPV person. Let's begin with the adverse event reporting in regards to ICSR. So what is adverse event reporting? So adverse event, who will do the reporting of adverse event? So adverse event reporting will be done by the healthcare professional, patients or consumers mostly. And for ICSR means, ICSR stands for individual case safety reports. So these are the safety reports which deals with the safety report of individual patient. Only single patient will be available in that safety report. So these kind of reports, there is a requirement we need to submit to the regulatory authority within specified timelines. So here, what are the sources of ICSRs? I will explain you. So there are different sources of ICSR through which we can receive the safety report. First one is the medical information. So each and every pharmaceutical company, they will have the website, and also they will provide the contact detail. So on those details, patient can report their adverse event, and that is the one source of ICSR. Next one is the licensing partners and distributor. So for example, for one of the product, there will be multiple mh. One product is there, one party is mh and one party is distributor. For example, consider Novartis has mh in Denmark and Pfizer has distribution rights in Australia. So these two different parties, it is mandatory by regulatory requirement them to monitor the safety data. So they in those scenarios, they will exchange the safety data and they will keep that data in their own safety database. So this is the another source of receiving ICSRs. Next one is the global and local literature. So according to the global requirements such as ICH, GBP, it is mandatory that MAH should consider the signals from from the literature also. Why? Because that is the important source of identifying signals from globally published databases such as mbes and medline. So through this, and along with that, local journals will also be there. So these are the one more source of the ICSR. Next one is the health authorities. So health authorities will receive the reports from directly from patients, healthcare providers, or from or from companies. So these health authorities, they will have their own databases. For example, EMA has vigilance, FDA has fairs, along with MHRA and Health Canada, they also have their own safety databases. So there is a requirement that MH should maintain these cases in their own databases, even though they are reported to health authority cases. You might say that like these cases already submitted to health authority, then why there is need to maintain? Because for example, take UK. So one case is submitted to MHRA, that means the country submitted to that for that report is UK. If that is submitted to UK, and after later processing it, we got to know that okay, this case also meets the regulatory requirement for FDA, then we have to submit that case to FDA also. Therefore we need to download these cases from other health authorities also. Next one is the clinical trial. Clinical trial, as I already explained, that PV is needed for the products which are in the clinical development. Uh, though we will get the limited data, but after the first exposure of the product, what are the adverse events we will be encountered? So that data we will get through the clinical trials. Next one is post authorization studies, registries, patient support programs. So these are the sponsored programs by the pharmaceutical companies or sometimes by the healthcare organizations. So the aim of this program is to support patient with the treatment, support them along their treatment journey, and improve the medication adherence. So this is the another source of ICSR intake. Next one, like other sources, for example, digital media. With increasing the usage of digital media, patient can share their experience on this platform, and for companies it is mandatory to review all these uh, platforms and to identify the adverse drug reaction. So this is another source of ICSR. And out of courtesy also, we might receive some safety reports from other companies. For example, Mylan got to know about the product which is marketed by Pfizer, so they will send that report to the Pfizer. So that is out of courtesy also we can receive the cases. Next is safety data management. So safety data management, this is specifically in regards to the ICSRs. So as I have informed you that there are different sources we receive from different sources, we receive the cases. Once we receive the case, we need to identify if the criteria validity meets for that case or not. So there are four different criteria to identify the validity. One is identifiable patient, identifiable reporter, one ADR, or at least one product. So if all these criteria meet, then we can consider that case as valid. Once validity is confirmed, we can go ahead and we can perform the intake of the case. So you can ask what is the intake of case. So basically global safety database will be there. So in that you need to enter the all details of the patient into the safety database. So there are different databases are there used by different companies. For example, RSG is there, Argus, VSafe, VGFlow, VGBase. So there are different databases are there. So once intake is done, then you can perform the triage. Why triage is needed? Triage is needed to segregate the data. Like in a day you might receive thousands of cases. So how you will identify that which case needs the first submission? So basically for prioritization we are doing triage. For example, we have to report serious cases and non-serious cases. So what are serious cases? Serious cases means those lead to hospitalization or prolongation of hospitalization. Those are life threatening, or those lead to death, disability. So those are considered as serious cases, and the cases which do not fall under this criteria are considered as non serious cases. So for the submission of the serious cases, there are stringent timelines, like we have to submit serious cases within 15 days, and CT cases, clinical trial cases, we have to submit within 10 days. So you can see that this timelines are quite stringent for submitting of these reports, and therefore most of the people sometimes feel this job is stressful. Moving on, next step is data entry. So once triage is done, once segregation of data is done, we can process ahead with this data entry. So in the data entry, we will add all the details which are there in the source document. In the source document, we will have all details about the patient demographics, then adverse event outcome, concomitant condition, comorbidities. So we have to enter these details into the global safety database. Once that is done, case will move to the next workflow, that is called as medical review. So medical review is basically done by physicians. They will check the meta coding, causality, and especially they will provide the clinical expertise in the case. Once medical review is then done, case will move to the next workflow, that is quality control. As per the regulatory requirement, quality control is necessary for each and every step in pharmacovigilance activities. So this is a mandatory step. So secondary responsible person will be there who will check the data entry which is entered in the safety database. So basically that person will check the source document and whatever data entered in the database. So if there is any discrepancy or if there is any modification is needed, that will be done at QC control step. uh, After that, case will move to the regulatory submission. So in the regulatory submission, two things are there. One is distribution and submission. Distribution, I have already told you, like for partners, the partners, those are not the regulatory bodies, right? So for partners, if we are sending any safety report, that would be considered as distribution. And for regulatory submission, if we are sending safety reports to the health authorities like EMA, MHRA, FDA, so that is called as regulatory submission. So that is also done via two ways. Some companies are doing this manually, and some companies this process is automated. Like the logics will be put into the database, and based on that logic, case will be automatically submitted to the health authorities. So basically this is the only step where data entry is needed. Next, moving on to the next report, that is aggregate report. So aggregate report deals with the safety reports from multiple patients, unlike ICSRs. So aggregate reports means the cumulative summary of the safety data. So safety data can be collected from various datas like line listing of ICSRs, then literature. So from all these sources, data will be collected. The summary will be made and it will be submitted to health authority. So for this role, you will need more analytical skills, critical thinking, and problem solving skills. And there are different types of aggregate report. Again, based on the pre-marketing and post-marketing, there are different reports. For example, DSUR, development safety report, is there, which deals with the investigational product. That means the product is not in the market yet. And other products are other reports are like periodic safety update reports, periodic benefit risk evaluation reports. So these are basically for EMA requirement. And one more report is there called as PEDAR, that is for FDA. So basically these are very complex report, PSUR and PEDAR. If you go to the module 9, you will see that 20 sections are there. So these are basically complex modules. And you have to submit these reports again within the some stipulated timelines. Moving on to signal detection and management. So signal detection means to identify a new signal. That means to identify a new adverse drug reaction or new aspect of the known adverse drug reaction. Again, the sources we have discussed, sources are same like spontaneous literature, database, and other sources. But here in this signal, what we can we will identify is that new beneficial effect. New beneficial effect means what? For example, take example of minoxidil. Initially minoxidil's indication was it was used for hypertension. However, later on we got to know that it can be used for hair loss. So that is the beneficial effect. So likewise we will get to know all these things via signal detection. Then we can also identify risk in new population. For example, some products we can't use in geriatric population, pediatric or pregnant women. So like that we can identify this data from signal. Then product issues or medication errors, drug food drug alcohol interactions, we can identify the true signal. And there are unlabeled event and labeled event. I think you might not be aware of what all these. So actually company will have smpc or rsi for a product. So in that they will maintain the information, each and every information of for the particular product. What is the indication, therapeutic use, like route, dosage, adverse event. So that will be there in that smpc or rsi. If the adverse event is present in that list, that is called as labeled event. And if adverse event is not present in that those reference documents, then it is a unlabeled event. So we can identify those also via signal detections. And there are different methods through which we can identify signals, like statistical algorithms, data mining techniques, signal detection softwares, etc. And the steps of signal detections we'll see. So first is the detection. If we identify any new potential, we'll identify new potential signal via regular safety review. Okay, once it is identified, we have to go for the next step, that is validation. We have to check if the information what we have gathered that is not enough, then further analysis is needed. Once that is done, once the further analysis is done, we can move ahead and we can submit, we can send that file. And the confirmation will be provided by the prac. So prac is the that is the community for eu region. So basically whenever any new signals identified, definitely you will send that signal to the health authority. Then prac will analyze, assess and provide the recommendation. Once that is once analyze, prioritize and assess, they will provide the recommendation whether to what to be done with that adverse drug reaction, whether labeling of the product should be changed, or sometimes they can take actions like recall of the product from the market. Next one is risk management plan. So risk, what is risk management plan? So the risk management, the purpose of this risk management plan is to reduce or to prevent the risk and increase and maximize the benefit of the drug. So this can be done via different methods. So first thing, we need to identify the risk. So how can we do that? So you have to go through the whatever safety, regular safety data is there, you have to review that. If you after reviewing, you if you got to know that there is some risk is involved, then you can implement some strategies to minimize the risk. So what are those strategies? First, you will communicate those risks to the healthcare provider, to the patient or to the consumer. And also you will provide them the education material. Then we can restrict the use of the medication to the particular area. And we can implement additional risk minimization measures along with this. So basically rmp plays a crucial role in supporting safety and efficacy of medicine and protecting the patient health. Then next area of pv is quality management system. So not like in pharma industry, this quality and compliance, that is the most important thing. The purpose of this quality management system is to establish and maintain process and their related procedures to ensure quality, reliability, and compliance of the pharmacovigilance activities. So let's go through the objectives of this QMS. First is ensuring compliance with the regulations. So we have seen that there are different regulatory bodies are there different region wise. So this department will make sure that whatever process we have, that is according to and that is compliant with the regulatory bodies. And that's why they will help in to establish the processes and help to prepare the procedures for those processes. Next one is promoting data integrity and accuracy. So this department will always emphasize on the data integrity and accuracy. So they will implement some process like QC check, QC check to identify that whatever data we have entered in our database, that is accurate or not. Then next one is standardization of processes and procedures. So as I explained that quality management department, they play the key role is in establishing processes and procedures. So via this uh, they will not only keep the SOPs updated, but they will also help to maintain good quality and productivity. Then continuous improvement and corrective actions. So whatever gray areas or whatever gray areas are there in the process, or whatever the process which need improvements are there, they will find out such process. They will they will document it via deviation, control change, or kappa. So and they will do the trend analysis of all these things, and they will keep track on like what like continuous improvement is there in those process or not. Then next is training and competence development. So if someone is working on pharmacovigilance activity, so that person should be adequately trained on the procedures. So QMS system will take care of those things. So they will provide the training programs and also continuous learning programs to the persons in order to be updated with the current skills and knowledge and regulatory requirement. So this is all the responsibilities of the quality management system. Then next is the pharmacovigilance agreement. So actually this is the ad hoc topic. So pharmacovigilance deals with ICSR, aggregate reporting, signal detection, RMP, QMS, all these things. This is the ad hoc topic which I have added because you should be aware that in pharmacovigilance, so these departments also exist where you can make your career if you are interested and if you have negotiation skills. So as I have already explained, in pharmacovigilance department, pharma in pharma, if one product is there, for that one product, two MH could be there. For example, one is the MH and another is the distributor, so both has right to market and distribute the products. So uh, for this companies, two different companies, it is mandatory that they need to maintain the safety data in their own database. That's why they will have an agreement with each other. It is called as safety data exchange agreement. So in this agreement, actually whatever activity, pharmacovigilance related activities you are performing, from ICSR to the inspection and audit, you have to mention everything according to your company's conventions. So this is the another area where you can pursue your career. Future career opportunities in pharmacovigilance. So before that, I will I will tell you the current scenario. Like from ICSR until quality management system, pharmacovigilance agreement, you can pursue your career in all those fields. um, Along with that, as you know that this core companies, pharmaceutical companies, they will always try to improve their processes, they will always try to enhance their efficiency. So they will always keep working on new projects. So you can also try to work on those projects, and you can work as a project management trainee or manager, like that. Then other fields are also there. For example, PV support or PV analytics, that is also there. uh, so those personal, what they will do basically, there are some databases like ClickSense and all. And also by having some knowledge of Power BI and SQL, uh, they will generate the report. So and they will analyze those reports. That's why they are called as PV analytics. So basically they deals with those kinds of thing. Also one more team area is there, that is PV support. So as you know that in PV, basically we have to deal with the database. You have to enter all the data in database, and that is the where you can work there are a lot of opportunities. You can work by you can support the background technical glitches if are there, so you can always support that. So that is again one more area where you can work based on your interest. And next, moving forward, career opportunities, future career opportunities. So basically data analytics, real world evidences, artificial intelligence and machine learning. So obviously that is going to be future of pharmacovigilance, rather than only pharma industry. It is going to impact all other industries. So first, data analytics. Data analytics means you have to play with the big data. In that, two things are there. One is a data scientist and one is business analyst. Data science means you will play with the data and you will just give the findings. And business analytics, along with finding the details, you will also propose the strategies to whatever things are there to to reduce things are like, you will give the strategies to whatever you want to play with. um, and also I have recently learned that EMA is also working on the big data. EMA is also checking the possibilities using this tool, whether this can be introduced in safety monitoring of the drugs. um, Along so and the real evidences. So next, in the real world evidences, so you can gather the data other than non-conventional methods such as registries, PSV. So you will gather the real world data and you will monitor the safety of data from from this data. So basically data analytics and real world evidence goes hand in hand. And as regulatory bodies also initiated working on it, you can also build you can also develop your skills in additional skills in these areas. Then next one is artificial intelligence and machine learning. So as you know that this is the hot topic in industry, yeah. And in pharmaceutical industry, yes, automation is going on currently. Few of the processes are being automated, but that doesn't mean that the whole process will get automated. Definitely it requires human intervention. Companies are bringing these technologies to reduce the cost, to reduce the human error, and also to increase the efficiency of their process. But as of now, uh, this process are getting automated only to the little parts, like to make the whole end to end. In regards to the pharmacovigilance, if we speak, if we have to make end to end automated system for safety case reporting, that is not gonna happen near soon. That is gonna take time. So definitely learning these skills, additional skills, definitely will help you to get competent salaries. So I hope that um, I have helped you to give insight about the pharmacovigilance. What are different things are there? So other than data entry, there are other things are there like aggregate signal, IMP, QMS, pharmacovigilance agreement. You can give it a chance, and you can think of pursuing your career in pharmacovigilance. So I thought of providing you insight on this, because when I was student, I was not aware of all these things that we can pursue our career in these fields. Even when I got my first job, I was not sure whether I was going to pursue it or not. But after moving to the core, I got to know that there are a lot of opportunities and endless knowledge in pharmacovigilance. So that gave me confidence to pursue the career in pharmacovigilance. So I hope that this session was helpful for all of you, and I wish you all the very best for your exams and whatever you pursue after your degree. Thank you so much. These are my contact details. You can always reach out to me for any guidance or support. I will be happy to help you. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now the session is open for the questions. Ma'am, we have some questions from audience.
Yeah, sure. Please go ahead.
Yes. The first question is which softwares are used for data collection of ICSR?
As I have like informed you in this session, there are different global safety databases which are used by the different companies. For example, RSG is there, Argus is there. Nowadays, a recently cloud-based system, Viva Vault, that is there. So these are different databases used by the companies, and also some companies have their own in-house databases also.
Okay.
I hope that's clear.
Okay. The next question is what will be the probable impact of the artificial intelligence on the career opportunities of pharmacy student?
As I explained, automation will be there, but that is for only some parts. End to end automation is not going to happen near soon. It might take 20 years from now. So that is not going to happen soon. So you can think of pursuing your career in pharmacovigilance. And as I said, you can build, you can develop your skills in data analytics or AI based on your interest. So as of now, there is no impact on the PV system.
Okay, ma'am. Next question is there, ma'am. For entering into PV profession, what sort of knowledge of qualities must
Okay, so to enter in pharmacovigilance, so basically, you will need to know what is the difference between adverse drug reaction, what is adverse event. Then you need to know what how case is considered as valid. I have told you that, right? Valid criterias are there to consider case as valid. So you can do that. Then there is a module, GVP module 6 is there. So basically it deals with the monitoring and collecting of data for ICSRs. So you can go through that, you can learn the basics from that. Along with that, some nowadays online courses are there, so you can always enroll for that also. That's it, ma'am.
Yes, okay, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your valuable guidance regarding the safety monitoring of the drug. Ma'am has focused on what is pharmacovigilance, overview of regulatory bodies, adverse event reporting, data collection for individual case safety reports, database used for safety data management, and signal management process, and so on. Once again, thank you, ma'am, for your guidance. The knowledge shared by you will surely help all the participants in the future. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me and giving me this opportunity. Thank you and all the best.
Okay, wait for 2 minutes, ma'am. Last slide. Now I request ma'am to accept the certificate of appreciation. Screen share.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you, Amrutkar sir and other faculty members. Thank you. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Screen sharing stop. Screen sharing stop. Okay. Thank you again, ma'am. Now I request Mrs. SP Shaike ma'am to conclude the session with the vote of thanks. Please, ma'am.
Good afternoon to everyone present virtually for this webinar. I am Mrs. Smita Shelke, Assistant Professor and Coordinator of the webinar. On behalf of principal and faculty members of our college, feel privilege and honor to place on record a thank you to all. A way of success is the way of continuous pursuit of knowledge. Webinar is one of the most popular way of gaining knowledge in the recent days. With this motto, we have started series of webinar. Today is the webinar of this series entitled Fundamentals of Pharmaceutical Technology and Research for Aspiring Pharmacists. I am grateful to first speaker of uh, today's webinar, Dr. Vivek Kumar Redasni, Campus Director, Principal, Faculty of Pharmacy, Yashoda Technical Campus, Satara, for his guidance regarding scientific writing. Thank you so much for sharing your valuable knowledge, sir. I offer my sincere thanks to Ms. Kanchan Matale, Pharmacovigilance Associate, Teva Pharmaceuticals, Bangalore, Karnataka, for detailing about pharmacovigilance in most attracting area of the students in the pharma field. I am very happy to share that she is our prestigious alumni. I am grateful to both the speaker for sparing valuable time with us from their busy schedule and enlightening us on new technologies and research in pharma industry. I also wish to express my gratitude to Dr. Dipti Deshpande Madam, Secretary Gokhale Education Society for her motivation and constant support. I must mention our deep sense of appreciation to our mentor Sri S.M. Gosavi Sir, Director Establishment Gokhale Education Society for constant guidance and motivation. A special thanks to Dr. S.V. Amrutkar, Principal of our college, for his enormous motivation and cooperation in organizing this webinar. I convey my big thanks to Dr. P.L. Pingre, Vice Principal and IQAC Coordinator and Convener of the webinar for providing immense support to make the webinar successful. I convey my big thanks to organizing committee members and my colleague for working hard for past few days to make this webinar successful. I especially mention a vote of gratitude to support staff. Without their cooperation and support, today's success was not possible. Finally, I am thankful to all the delegates for their active participation. I am sure that participants must have benefited by attending this webinar today. I once again thank you everyone whose contribution has made this event success. Thank you very much. With this, I conclude that today's webinar is completed. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.